All right, everybody, here we are today announcing an exciting book coming out. I'm so glad that you're here with us. I hope you'll jump on live or on the replay. We are announcing the marketing launch for The Borrowed Daughter, A Journey Beyond the Edge of Life. And I have the author, Sane Brauner, here with me to be able to talk about the book. I'm so excited about this. So join me in welcoming Sane Brauner. Hey, Sane, how you doing today?
Thank you. I'm really great. I'm excited. It's like, wow, and I am thankful, to have the opportunity to speak about the message, the book, and just to, interact.
Absolutely. So tell us first a little bit about you, and just who you are in the world.
Okay. So here I am. My name is Sana Brauner. I'm living in Vienna, and that's my hometown. I was actually like around 20 when I started to join the media, business as an editor and just writing first. With 28, I became a chief editor of a huge magazine with 1,300,000 samples here in Austria. And the point was, I was just really used to work a lot. For me, it was like, and that was a bit of my problem because I was working a lot, and I was actually afterwards, I realized that I compared my value, how much I work also with my self-value at some point. And so I was, and, with 28, 30 around, I was questioning, where I'm going to more, be towards my career, even more, where I'm heading, and, or going to create a family, because I was already with my, that time husband for almost, 8 years together. And so around 30, I got my first son, and 2.5 years later, our daughter arrived. And so here I am, working and expanding in more, becoming in business-wise, and on the other side, expanding my family, it's like also, and so, yes, and so I was just like, rolling and rolling and doing and working and towards, towards the point when I myself, did not realize there is a bit of a stop. I need just some rest for something. And yeah, well, then it happens that life did put me on stop. This was actually my story where it begins, the other side of entering a different world.
Oh, yeah. So you had an event that happened to you that many people will never have happen to us. Tell us a little bit about what you went through.
Well, it was this, for Christmas, we always, it's really cold here in Vienna, like in many places here in Europe. And it's the time when we can, take some holiday, and we are always somewhere where it's sunny, where it's hot, where it's like really, to enjoy and to be on the beach and just like rest. And so we have been like arrived in Thailand around the December 20th, and it was actually, we are speaking right now about December the 26th, around 10 o'clock in the morning, when we are just, having a nice breakfast, long breakfast, late breakfast, and enjoying our time together. It's the family. It's like my husband, the son, the daughter. The son is Alexander. Daughter's name is Alexandra Anita. And my mom, my sister, her son, and friends with us, And, just there we are, sitting, enjoying. And I'm like, okay, I go, because some of us, went already to the room back. Some was just like, wanting to go just because the restaurant, to explain it, was actually on the beach, So to change, you had to go to the room, and it was a 10 minutes walk. It was a very huge hotel complex. It had at that time the biggest swimming pool in Asia. It was like, I don't know if people can imagine when it's like in Venice, you have this like swimming pool where you go from one side of the hotel complex under bridges to the other side, and it's like, you know, really a very, very beautiful, huge water hotel complex. A lot of, and our room was at that time located in a way that you could just step from the room in the water. So this was a little bit, so you just step in there and you can swim actually front to the beach or something like so, just to get an idea how it was actually. So my mom, my sister, and the little one, you know, decided they will stay at the restaurant, and I went. Helmut, my husband, that time, you know, we separated, we divorced, but we are still good friends. That's why I'm saying like that time. So let's call him Helmut. You know, it's the father of Alexandra and Anita. He went with Alexander and his cousin, and they were swimming in the pool somehow, and I am coming back from the breakfast, entering the room, going through the room to the balcony, to the, you know, where is actually the pool in front of me. And I'm saying, hey, let's just take our beach stuff and go and meet you the other at the beach. But it was not that I could just really, I was speaking, but at the same time, I'm realizing water. I'm realizing it's not just water, it's just massive water without, you know, you just don't know where and how, and it's just coming, and it was, it brought, I mean, I just, you know, went, you know, because I was actually between, in the door between out and inside of the room. So the water just came, and, you know, and it's, so now I'm explaining something what happens in a time. So I'm expanding time, you know, I'm really expanding time, because at that moment when the water came, you just, you know, I'm in a room, but the wave was 12-meter high. So it's a 3-story high wave. It's not just like there is some water. It's just like everything is underwater. So the room, it was the room was full with water. And I'm explaining in the book, because this is what's like, how I gave my whole story a meaning, and actually help, you know, the point is like, I am there in the water. There is, at some point, you are in a room underwater. In the next moment, everything broke, you know, you're still underwater, but you're not anymore in the room. You're outside, but you're still underwater. And you know exactly, you know, you're just in this washing machine. You don't know where is up, where is down, where is like you want to come on the surface, and you paddle and something, and you do like, you know, everything to come out of the water. No way, you know. And at some point, you know, I was just, you know, saying to myself, that's the way how you live from this world. So, because there was no more power, no more breath, nothing, you know. And just to imagine, I was that, and okay, let's finish here. I was at that moment when I decided I'm going to give up, you know, from this whole noise where I was, and trying and fighting, and, you know, being pushed, and being like, you know, no idea what's happening, where I am, how I'm going to get out of this situation. It was just like, I just, you know, like somebody pressed the button stop, and here I am in a total different space, a space where it's silent. It's like just silence. It's just like nothing to hear. Nothing. And it's peaceful. And in the next moment, I hear this, it's just really, I hear how Sana's voice is asking this other Sana, like this one who is struggling with life, and this one who is just in peace with everything, is like, Sana, do you want to live? And there is a moment of silence, but then I hear again Sana's voice. She says, yes, I do. And here I have again somebody pressed the button and noise. I'm struggling with my life. I'm just like, fighting. Where is up? Where is down? How I'm getting, And then comes the moment when I just like, getting the first breath, and I'm like looking around myself, and I'm like half a mile out of the hotel. It's just looking back, it's back, and I'm heading towards the forest, and it's still everything water. And I'm grabbing, the little side mirror of a car, a van, who is just coming with the, stream, with the water, and I'm holding there myself, and just like, wow. And I was like, and the interesting thing is, Steve, it was like, here I am getting my first breath, but the first word I'm saying is thank you. And I'm like wondering myself, like, what for? Because it's like, I was thinking, because I never heard about the word tsunami before. I was thinking the whole world is underwater. Because how can it be that we here, it was just sunny beach. You're laying, you're on holiday, you have, in this 5-star hotel, and it's like, resting, and it's like, and it's not a minute, and your whole life changed. And it's not that I went through this, but what I had to realize, this was like 10:30, like, let's jump like through now, it's like at around 11, I'm finding some of the family, but I'm having to realize, some hours later that my mom is missing and the little daughter. So we are, and this is actually what happened that morning. Then what happened, later on is just when you go through a really extreme, very extreme situation like this, is like, okay, what are you going to hold on? And the interesting thing for me, so now I'm like looking from the Sana so many years later, how I actually behaved that time and what helped me to be in a really extreme situation and yet to experience that if you don't fall in this place where you feel, oh, it happened to me, instead of like, my mind is not going to help me now. Nobody outside is going to help me now, because the pain I'm feeling inside is so extreme. Like, it's just like, it's like there is no word, that, because it's like, not that the body is under pain. The body was under pain. I was hurt. I was damaged. And everything, was like, but the point is like the pain is so massive that because you have all these questions, because I knew my mother passed away at the same time when I was like coming on the water and up of the water, and I had a tree where I was holding on after the car, went down under the water, and I had to let it go, I knew, I got the message that my mom, she just, perished. She chose to go. And for the little one, I had this message where right now you're not going to do anything for her because you have to take care of yourself, but it's going to be taking care of her. And I kind of saw some pictures, from her, and this comparing to the other pictures, which I So, my mom leaving this her body and planet and everything. And so it's like, the thing is like, well, I instantly, at that moment, everything, when I came out of this world, and I instantly had kind of two lives, going with me in a way of like always with the voice that connected to this deeper, intelligence, to this deeper wisdom, to the source of yourself, of this invisible part, of this really emotional, and guided the other one who was in the body what to do next, what step next, how to behave, what to say, what to do, how to act. It's like, because it was like, I was just there because we stayed there for a while, for some days, for a week, for some weeks. We came back to look her after her again, to search, to look. It was like for several months, it was like for a while, until I had to say, to come to one point to say, I have to let go. It's a moment where you, but this was kind of, because waking up every day, realizing, wow, where I am, what kind of world, where is my child, what is happening with her, who is with her, is she alive, is she not, you are never sure, because you are just like, just like ping, ping, you're, everything is like your emotion, your emotions are on roller coaster, your mind is on roller coaster. It's just because you can't find so easily peace, and that's what you can't also, that's what I want to say also, like, to everybody. It's like, when it happens, you have to not to suppress the emotions, you have to, I was crying. I see myself, on the side of the highway, where I was looking, the cars, and I'm like, because you have all these pickups, and I'm standing there on the street, and I'm just crying, and I can feel, because the sun is so burning, so hot and everything, that I get a salty crust on my whole face, and so it's like, but there is this part of you who still has to function at some point, and so you have to allow yourself that to be, you are in pain, you're just in pain, but not to lose yourself in pain. And it's just to be an observer, and to just, always look for the message behind this, what is the message behind? Because it's, I'm a strong believer. I'm not a believer in religion, but I'm a strong believer that there is always a meaning, no matter what happens, And that time I was just like, the first help for me was like, connect to this part of you, of your, source of your, because it's instant there, it's, you don't have to call, don't have to go somewhere, you don't have to, change whatever, it's just there, and just communicate. I was a walking, talking prayer. I was just, I accept, I surrender, I ask for help, and I thank for help. I was just like inside myself, even it was silence, but it was like, I accept, I surrender, I like, because I need help. I don't know what to do otherwise, It's like, because I still, coming home, I was working, at some point. Right. Producing newspaper. I was, chief editor of a magazine that time.
It's such an amazing story, and there's so much more for people. And afterwards, you unpack for them. How do you rise above circumstances like that? What can you learn from the most devastating of circumstances? The book is called The Borrowed Daughter, A Journey Beyond the Edge of Life. It's an amazing book. You really, really got to get it. Santa, I am so excited for the marketing launch we're doing today and all the things coming with your book. And anybody that wants to continue posting on this thread, we'll both be here all day, talking about the book. And I hope that you all will go and get it. Thanks so much for spending some time with us here on Alive today.
Thank you too, to give me the possibility to to speak about the message which I'm carrying and why I wrote the book, because it's I gave my story a meaning, and I actually encourage everybody, because all of us have our story. It's just a different topic, but it's where you get shaked, where kind of the bottom, it gets pulled away and there's nothing to hold on. All of us have this, and this book is like, helps to understand, that everything your story too has a meaning, and it would be nice and it would be great if everybody can give their story a meaning. That's what's actually the message of the book.
Perfect. All right.